Hello, welcome to this new tutorial. This is the last tutorial in the political culture and political socialization series. And in this tutorial, we shall talk about agents of political socialization. Now here we have four very important agents which plays a very important role as agents of political socialization. These are first family, second school, third peer group, and fourth media. So let us take first family. The foremost agency of socialization into politics is the family. Family is the major context within which individual developed his or her political attitude, values, and belief. In fact, the pioneering political socialization researcher Herbert Heyman, he defines that family has a primary responsibility for nurturing individuals and meeting basic needs such as food and shelter during their formative years. So, Herbert Heyman basically talks about that it is a family which is a primary institution, or it has primary responsibility as far as nurturing that individual's opinion, nurturing individual, or meeting his basic needs such as food, shelter during the formative year. And therefore family becomes a very important institution which in fact creates a space for nurturing political values, political attitude, as well as belief. Moving on. In the view of Glass, family as a primary influence in the development of child's political orientation, mainly due to constant relationship between parents and children. Now here Glass says that family as a primary influence again plays a very important role as far as development of children's political orientation, mainly because there is a special relationship between parents and children, and they are in immediate first contact, and they are always there to support and nurture the individual perspective about political socialization. Besides this, family is the most important institution which shapes the basic attitude. It teaches basic political values and loyalty to particular political party to their family members. So beside that, family also plays a very important role as it shapes the basic attitude, as they teach them certain political values as well as they teach them loyalty to a particular political party in a long run. Beside this, the strong emotional relationships that exist between family members may compel children to adopt behavior, attitude, values, and belief. So beside this, children also are attracted, and therefore they receive certain amount of behavior from their parents or from their family, certain amount of attitude as well as values and belief. Important point of reference to this is that children often take on the political culture of their older family members. So basically children often takes certain political culture from their older family member. This refers to the system of general political traditions, customs, and beliefs of the family. Though most parents include their children in political discussion, kids picks up an casual remark made between adult and acquired the same political belief. There is also another perception that when parents talks about certain political issues within the four walls of their family, kids casually picks up those remarks which parents are making, and they acquire some kind of a political belief. As well as parents can teach their children about government institution, political leaders, and about current issues in the political system. They can also influence the development of political values and ideas such as respect for a political symbol or belief in particular cause. Therefore, the family as an agent of political socialization is most successful in passing on basic political identities. So, to conclude, children can learn by example when their parents act as a role model. Young people who observe their parents reading the newspaper and following political news on television may adopt the habit of keeping informed. Adolescents who accompany parents when they attend public meetings, circulate a petition or engage in other political activities stands a better chance to becoming politically engaged adult. And at last, young people can be socialized to politics through dinner conversation with family, watching television and movies, participating in a Facebook group with the friends. So, this is all about the contribution of a family, parents, and the members of the parents in inculcating or in passing certain amount of political values, political attitude and belief, and helping to nurture kids and to have certain amount of political orientation. Moving on to point number 2, school. So, after the family, we have school. Schooling plays an important role in early political socialization. Especially, the formal education plays a critical role in the process of political socialization. In fact, in schools, students learn about meaning of the common cultural goals of freedom, equality, and liberty. Beside this, in upper level of higher school and colleges, students examine important political events and are encouraged to form their own opinion. So therefore, schools plays most important role in forming some kind of a political socialization, and there are various reasons why school becomes the most important asset or an agent of political socialization, because it talks about forming some kind of a common cultural goal. It talks about the essence of freedom, it talks about equality, it talks about liberty, and beside this, schools and colleges also encourage students to form some kind of their own political opinion with other aspects of political event. In fact, class election and student union help students to form their opinion about the fairness of political process. So we have these concepts like class elections or student union, and student union are the most important example how young generation, how young youth come into the active politics and present themselves with their own set of opinion. Moving on, the most important task of schools as an agent of political socialization is the passing on of a knowledge about fundamentals of government, such as constitutional principles and their implications for citizens' engagement in politics. In fact, at the college classroom can be an environment for socializing young people to politics. In fact, faculty student exchange can form and reinforce or change evaluation of politics and government. In fact, if you look around your colleges, if you look around your universities, if you look around to various schools, today we have a large chunk of youth people who are getting into politics, irrespective of which party, which ideology they belongs to, but they are bringing fresh ideas into the system, and therefore faculties and student exchange can play a major important role to reinforce or to re-evaluate the politics and the government of the day. So to conclude, schools are powerful opinion shapers where students are given an introduction to politics. So in short, schools and teachers are the powerful opinion shapers of this young generation, and therefore schools, colleges and high secondaries acts as an important agent in political socialization. Now let us talk about the third important agent of political socialization, which is peer group. So peer group means a group of people who are linked by common interest, equal social positions and similar ages. In peer group, young people get influenced and are likely to adopt the political attitude, viewpoint and behavior pattern of group to which they belong. Peer group provides a forum for a youth to interact with people who are at similar levels of maturity. In fact, peer group influence starts when children reach schools and spend less time at home. Besides this, peer group build pressure and have a powerful impact on young people political development. Example, by directly engaging in political activities such as student government or students parliament, working for a candidates by protest march, dharna or a strike, students tend to build their understanding about politics. They tend to build or adopt a changing attitude, or they may form their own viewpoint, and definitely it affects their behavioral pattern. And therefore peer groups provide some kind of a forum for a youth to interact with like-minded people. They may have a different opinion, they may have a different perspective, but when they move around with the peer group always influence them in a way to have their own thought, to have their own perspective about politics of society and political orientation. So in peer group, young people even will change their political viewpoint depending upon the situation. So therefore peer group always influence young generation, young people, and within the influence of the peer group they even tend to change their political viewpoint. Again, it depends on the situation. So to conclude, individuals often are attracted towards groups that hold beliefs and values similar to their own in order to minimize conflict and reinforce their personal views. So in short, individuals are always attracted towards certain political ideology, and many a time in order to avoid conflict or in order to minimize conflict and to reinforce their personal view, peer group plays a most important role. So last we have media. Media plays general influence role in political socialization. In fact, in modern era, there are numerous ways of communicating political ideas. Example, newspaper, magazine, books, radio, television, films, and social media is creating intelligent public opinion. In fact, during World War II, radios and films had tremendous power to educate millions of people. In fact, millions of people were in the reach of this on a daily basis. Well, in the modern time, the advancement in technology has built the capacity of a mass media to socialize people to politics, and its continuous growth has increased its reach out more effectively and has allowed more interactive media experiences. Moving on, one of the most important development in the advancement of technology in the mass media is television. It has become prominent socialization agent or tool. Since 1960s, young people exposed to mass media has increased tremendously. In fact, the study indicates that age between 2 to 8 spends almost 40 hours a week consuming mass media, which is roughly the equivalent of holding full-time job. In fact, according to Kaiser Family Foundation, who have carried out this research, they found out that they spend much of their time watching television, using computers or cell phone, playing video games or listening to music alone. And this has very negative impact as personal contact with the family members, teachers and friends has declined. The study further says that more than 60% of the people under the age of 20 have television in their bedroom. Beside this, the use of more personalized form of media such as text messaging and social networking sites has expanded exponentially in recent years. And that's a matter of the fact that today's generation of 21st century is more active on social media, and through social media he or she forms his own political orientation, forms his own political opinion. Thus, young people using these forms of media have greater control over their political socialization. So to conclude, media are rich source of information about government, politics, institutions and current affairs. People learn about politics through newspaper, television, magazines, radio, internet websites and through social media. The media provides insight into the working of government by showcasing political leaders in action. Example, campaign trails and through video posted on YouTube and online news sites. So, at last, media also establish linkages between leaders, institutions and citizens. So, this was the last important agent of political socialization, which is media. So, to summarize everything and to conclude, the agent of political socialization. So, to conclude the agent of political socialization, from the above discussion, it can be summarized that political socialization is process by which people learn and acquire their political culture, that is belief, attitude, values and behavior associated with good citizenship. And these were the factors which were influencing this behavior which we have just talked about. So, I hope you have understood the political socialization. See you soon in next tutorial. Till then, take care.